Hello, everybody. This is Tiffany,
What's up? This is Ariel.
and this is episode 16.
All the way.
Listen, y'all, this past week, I don't know what I did to piss the devil off. He is at my neck, okay?
Well, that's what happens when you're out here being great.
Listen, I'm talking
That's
about
frowned upon in this establishment.
this, just so, Lord. And it's February, and it's supposed to be about love and I have been so blah. And I've just been having stuff pop out the woodwork like, hello,
What?
Random messages, random people, random things.
Hey, that's the best when random people show up.
It's interesting. Listen, I'm like, oh, okay, that's where we at.
I just know that when random people pop up, random messages pop up, I'm like, oh, I must be getting close. You trying to keep me from it. I see you. Nope, still doing it.
That's how I had been this week. I sat down and just looked at it like, your move. I don't like it. I don't like that you're here. Reveal yourself.
Sir.
Reveal your intentions. I don't like it.
Let me see your face. And, I just have accepted the fact that it's probably going to be trash happening on a regular basis. And that, the better you're doing and the more you're doing, the more trash, the more obstacles, turbulence. And I had to tell my sister that one day. I said, every time my sister levels up, I have to remind her. I'm like, so you do know
this comes with the territory.
This comes with a little bit of, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Well, see, what I think I recognized was like, I knew that, but I think I've been tested on the lessons that I got. So it's like, review. Pull out your paper and pencil.
But that's definitely what people don't recognize. They don't recognize that even though you conquer something and you step over it, you still have to take the final exam. Because you think that you've learned it until you have to implement it.
Yep.
Until you got
into play. I'm like, ugh.
And then you have to see, have you really learned it and has it become a behavior? Like we said, you have to do something at least 28 times before it comes to behavior. So if you want to know if you're better in arguments, you're going to have 28 arguments. If you want to know if you're better at controlling your brain when you have anxiety or stress or anything like that happen, it has to happen 28 times. Now, normally 28 times in a row, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So then when you look back, it could be 6 months, 7 months before it happens 28 times in your life. And then you say to yourself, like, why does this keep happening? It's only happened 5 times. But I know it feels like it's 28.
Because it's been over this period of time.
Absolutely.
So you're like, but I've only been tested on it about 5 times.
And you're like, oh, you do know the number's 28. Yeah, buckle up, buttercup.
Grab a Snickers.
And grab a cup. How about that? Grab your cup and get comfortable because it's still happening. So, whenever I see stuff, I don't even keep track no more. I'm just like, I'm probably on number 3. The way my life works, I always say 3. I'm like, probably number 3.
Just need to be prepared.
I just need to know that this is going to happen at least 60, 100 more times. And in my mind, 60, 100 is 28. So
yeah,
I just deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm here. I made it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. We appreciate your participation and your attendance.
But it was a struggle.
Not a struggle.
A struggle. It was confusing.
No, it didn't sit right. It didn't sit right.
So Valentine's Day
came and went. It sure did.
What did you do?
So, how was it? Wednesday or Tuesday? What was that? A Wednesday?
Thursday.
It was a Thursday?
Yeah.
So, Thursdays I work. So I went to work and then I got off work and then I came home. Yeah. I was looking for more to give in this story. See, okay, so I am in my time of single right now, and I definitely fought hard not to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, girl,
You're
here, just do it. But now that I'm in this time of sing, I will say this. Okay, so I read it, listen to different sermons and scriptures all the time, and they're like, when you start, positioning yourself in a place where you want to be, when you start focusing on you and your task and what it is that you're supposed to be doing and improving yourself and working on you and yada yada yada, you attract everybody, right? So when you're living your best life and you look like you just out here loving life and living it full of positivity and energy, people are drawn to that. People are definitely drawn to that. So I literally have to consciously and continuously have the conversation that I am in a time of single.
I've never had somebody come when I wanted somebody there. Like,
right.
It was always when I was minding my own business and not thinking about it. Like, I got this happening, and then that's when you're attracting people because they're looking at you like, well, look at this hot mama over here with all this
minding her business ministry.
Look at some stir.
And look, and I got, you should see me. I got my arm around my pot. I'm covering it. I'm over here stiff arming people like I'm over here with the NFL.
I don't need no extra seasonings. I got it.
Don't put no salt in this pot. I don't need no seasoning.
I'm watching my sodium. Step back.
Listen, I don't need none of your sugar. And I don't need none of your salt. I don't need none of it. Please.
Take the pepper too.
All of it. I don't need it spicy. I don't need none of that.
Cooking it just right.
Hey. And I was like, cook it. I was like, I don't have time for that. Now, here's the thing. I have no problem enjoying life and enjoying people, but relationship-wise, I'm definitely not in that grind at all. I'm focused on so many things. I have like 3 different projects going on, 3 different things that I'm pushing towards entrepreneur wise. I'm out here being a mom. I'm out here like trying to be as best I can a friend to my friends. I'm trying to be an amazing daughter, an awesome sister. Like I don't have time to squeeze in a significant other because I need to be able to give you the attention.
Still managing though those other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they all hit different highs and lows of those. Like all of that has their own highs and lows of like, didn't crush it the same way last week, but I'm gonna come back at it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. And I'm over here trying to grow my hair. I got this rice water thing going on. Like I'm working on my skin. I'm have successfully planned a trip every month up until April. That's I think. Awesome. So people who know me know I at one point traveled almost every month or every other month for a long time. And then when life happened, I stopped traveling with friends and as much as I was all together. And one of my guilty pleasures is traveling. Like I love traveling. I love going to restaurants when I travel. I love seeing the city when I travel. Like there's so many places that I want to go and so much that I want to do that I'm like, listen, you're going to have to find time for you, which is why I do my spa days on Sunday. But I also have to dive into things that I enjoy and not just all business. I need to have pleasure, and that includes friends, and that includes sometimes going out of town by myself because I'm working on me. I can't always be out of town with somebody. Sometimes I just needed to be quiet. I need to be able to read a book and aimlessly scroll through IG if that's what I want to do. Like,
so first of all, she lying and she stunned on y'all because I definitely took her out for Valentine's Day.
That you said on Valentine's Day.
Okay, no 4. Okay, you're right. I did say on.
Take it back.
Okay. She didn't lie, y'all. I just wanted to be.
How you know I wasn't going to not see? I need you to work on that. That is one of the things you got to work, because I definitely was about to say, but
right.
My boo right here, we was going to have a conversation about Valentine's Day because she took me out before Valentine's Day. She took me and her best friend out and treated us real good. She almost got tongued down, and I almost took her home. Like it was almost. She almost had to give it up at the end of the night.
I felt worthy.
Look, I was like, oh, so you want it. Oh, okay. I don't even like girls, but yeah, try it out. Listen, see what it do when somebody treating me good.
We had a good time. We told you last episode we were going to see what men want. And we had such a good time.
First of all, that movie was Now, there were people who didn't like it. I thought it was hilarious, but I think you need to be with better people when you go to the show.
And I mean, I'm not a movie buff, so if you're really out there giving like your high grade cinema critique of it and all of that,
I also need you not to work at the post office if you out here critiquing actors and actresses. Because listen, get your life together. How you gonna tell them, well, that wasn't really? Nah, just say it wasn't for you. You don't get. You better. This better be your living. I'd say that much. You can't go work at Gap and then tell me what Taraji didn't do.
But there were some. It was funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
Definitely.
I laughed more than I thought. It wasn't as cheesy. Like, it was so many ways it could have been more cheesy than what it was.
It had a lot of substance, and some parts were like gems.
Yeah, like that. Hey, somebody in here needs to pay attention.
Where's your notepad? Get your pen.
Somebody in here talking about actors when y'all need to be listening.
Noted. But did you pick up that gem while you was over there talking about how she fake cried? Like, I need y'all to just get it together. But we had an amazing time. We went to this super dope restaurant that I had never been to or heard of before so I'm from the city of Chicago. I don't frequent the city of Chicago now that I'm an adult and I can live where I want to live and do what I want to do, because the city of Chicago parking situation and people situation, just the way my life is set up, I have to control my peace.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a protecting your peace type.
Because I get out my body real quick. And I think part of controlling your peace is knowing not to put yourself in certain situations. And because I know my turn up is real, I just be like this. Nope, not gonna do it. Because you aren't gonna get me to start cursing today and throwing up fingers.
Right.
And I am known for slapping a person every once in a while. So, nope, I don't want to do it. But we had a really good time. We went to Ja Grill, which is this place in Hyde Park, which is the area in Chicago. Actually, it's where the Obamas lived.
Yes.
When they were rocking it in Chicago. And it was dope. It had a DJ in it, and he definitely wanted me to twerk. I was like, nah, you get this little shoulder action. You trying to get me to make it clap. And I'm trying to not live that life. I'm somebody's mother.
And they had vegetarian options.
Yes, and it was delicious. Let me tell y'all, I was in there like, wait a minute. You trying to treat me real good. I see you.
Listen, and I was heaving. Crying. Like, it was so good, it was so hot.
She got the jerk version.
Yeah.
And that part of her life was questioned. We should have switched though, because my plate was not hot at all.
Right.
Her plate was the heat that I actually liked, but I didn't order her food. It was a really good time. But let me tell y'all what my boo did though. So she bought these bags and filled them with things that she knew me and her best friend were going to some point need or would appreciate because she knows us.
Right.
So there was like tea in there and footy socks, because I love wearing footy socks. And there were like face masks, because I do my spa days, and hand lotion and tissue with these amazing inspirational quotes. And I told her I'm never going to use these tissues because I just feel like it needs to be looked at. And she bought like pens, because I love different colored pens. And she bought snacks, because y'all don't know this, but I be snacking. And y'all probably heard on one of these recordings I was snacking. A couple times y'all probably heard me snacking, because the way I gotta eat when I need to eat, I need to eat.
Right.
And in the middle of a conversation, I don't care who I'm talking to, I will bust out a bag of chips or some almonds. And she bought me almonds and fish crackers. I was like, she knows me.
Yes, something to drink.
Yep.
My mind was like those little everyday things that we take for granted.
Yes.
That make you a little better. So like some lip balm, some hand lotion, stuff you can throw in your purse that if you're out moving and then you forget, because both of them they
always
be eating and doing stuff they need to do like they like food, they will eat, but I'm saying in the midst of being out,
right.
If you got these nuts in your bag, that's gonna be handy. Some lip balm, all of us love tea, so a tea assortment, gum, like
just things that you need. Oh, she bought me a notepad because y'all know I love journaling. Mm-hmm. So she bought me a notepad that had on there the tasks that you need to do daily, and then it broke it down to weekly, like it was grouped together. Mm-hmm. And that was super dope. Like she just bought me all time, and then she personalized me a letter and a card, and I'm not gonna tell y'all what it said because it was for me, but let me tell you, I am not a crier, but she be pushing it. I think like when she writes stuff, she was like, let's see if I can get her this time. Like she be looking at me like, is it no yeah, you know, no, you can just no, okay, next time. Like she did everything. Like she just took us out and we had a good time, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so I really wanted to do it because I think sometimes people get confused by these holidays.
Absolutely.
That it's supposed to look a certain way. And I slightly had this conversation with my boyfriend too. I was like, do you remember when you like Valentine's Day first mattered? And he even said like, I think they started pimping us out in grade school. And I was like, I think you're right. I think
when you had to go get them cards and tape a sucker to it, for everybody.
But I don't know about you, but I always remembered it's like if you had a little school boyfriend, he tried to give you something a little more special than just that card because
absolutely you want to get that ring pop, boom.
Right? Listen, you don't get some extra candy.
Don't give me a ring pop and some Jolly Ranchers. We definitely go together.
That's what I'm saying, and it was like I think from early on the way that's prioritized, it's supposed to look a certain way, mm-hmm. but then you're missing the substance of what it's really supposed to represent and mean.
Yes,
the meaningfulness. So that
the love part.
Yeah, the love part gets gone, and with Ariel and my best friend being single, I just not because they were saying anything, but I was like, no, these are two people like I love a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Like, so I want to. Why wouldn't we be doing something for Valentine's Day?
But if you think about it, when you're little, you celebrate Valentine's Day with your kids. Like when your kids wake up, you have candy for them and a card, and you tell them how much you love them. But when you get older, you don't do that with everyone. No. You only do it with your significant other, and it means something with your significant other. But it doesn't have the same effect like with family and friends. No. This day is for your significant other.
And kids go crazy because when I forgot buying the little cards for them to take to school. Mm-hmm. How geek they were, like getting their favorite characters.
Absolutely,
they were like, "What? You're my best!" It was like a whole riot.
The whole thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. So even for them, making sure they had little treats. Like my son is turning 3, y'all. He just bless his spirit in ministry, but he just wanted everybody's stuff. Like he wasn't really. He gonna get there.
Right.
But I was like, man, this is important. So I wanted to personalize letters for them too, because like she said, it was for them, but I knew certain things of their struggles and that were on their heart that I wanted to address for why I felt like they were so worthy of that time and attention. Because that's ultimately what a lot of those ideals come from, like being treated special. You kind of are looking to feel poured into and loved on this special day. Right. And I'm like, well, listen, it don't just, my boyfriend ain't the only one that get this. I got some people to pour some love on, baby, because the way we've been pouring over here is legit. Okay?
Now, I will be the first one to say that I am terrible at receiving gifts. Mm-hmm. Horrible. And I'm also horrible at giving gifts because like one, I don't ever know what to actually get a person because I never want to get something that is kind of like, oh, that was nice, like I really can do without this. And then 2, to me, I always feel like I'm not going to do enough. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I need to get out of the habit of thinking that what I'm doing isn't enough, because doing something should be enough for whoever it is you're getting to. But in my brain, I always have that thought process, and I have to get out of that. But my family never really celebrate. I don't celebrate holidays for real. Like I was telling Tiffany, we never really celebrated Thanksgiving
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like Thanksgiving was the day that we picked whatever we wanted to eat and then we could get it that day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, like it was never a really big deal. Maybe when I was super young,
Mm-hmm.
like anything over 7, I don't remember us doing anything big. Like and when I was in high school, we stopped exchanging gifts with Christmas and stuff. Like I would just tell my dad what I wanted to get my brother or sister, but we didn't do it as adults. And when I had my son, it was different. Like it was like, oh, we got to buy for a kid now.
Right.
But it was never a thing. And I was never in a relationship with anybody where it was a big thing. Like with my ex, it was never a thing. Well, any of my exes, it was never a big thing. But I believe it's because I never put emphasis on it.
Mm-hmm.
That the guy was like, okay, cool. And then I didn't understand that Valentine's Day was for both of us or just me. Was I supposed to get him something or was I supposed to?
I think
just
conceptually, it's always, and I don't know if nobody told me that or I made it up, but I think it was always seen like it was supposed to be for women.
But I think it's both though.
Oh, I do, but I'm saying I think
that's how it's viewed in society.
Right. I thought me thinking that way is different from what other people think. So even I remember being little and the jewelry commercials were at an all-time high around Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, okay.
But there is a really strong representation for men to be celebrated, period. So it's like Sweetest Day, men are all strong with this is for us, this is our day. And then women are like, nah.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're not from the Midwest, and
you don't know what Sweetest Day is. Because it's only on our calendars. My cousins in California, their calendar does not say Sweetest Day. They're like, what are you talking about?
And
it's
I
another made up day.
A random day in elementary school listening to GCI and they were talking about and they were on the radio and they were talking about Sweetest Day. And since becoming older, every little boy that was listening around the same time with me was like, we gonna get our day. Right. We gonna get a day. And then she gonna come through for you though? Is she? Okay.
But then we took over that day too though.
Yep. So we like twice a year in the Midwest.
Now I think that was when the Men's Day is supposed to be that BJ Day. Yeah. And steak.
Yeah,
steak and BJ Day or something, which y'all Google it. Okay. Yeah.
We ain't gonna break it down.
And I probably don't need to even tell you to Google it. Y'all are adults, you know what that day is. But that don't got a day on the calendar either. That's made up just like Sweetest Day.
Right. But I think for me, so for my boyfriend, besides just life and things going on, I wasn't thinking about getting anything for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely
I wasn't
not.
expecting it. Like he kind of even said, like, I got you on the postpone, and I was like, ain't nobody thinking about Valentine's Day, boy. Like, but I knew I wanted to do something for him because he works on cars, so he's been like getting beat up and he's been coming home, and I've been feeling like I'm dealing with an NFL player because I'm like, wait a minute, this is more risky than I knew over here. Like, what are these bruises? So I wanted to do a form of like a male spa day for him, but nothing like crazy to me. And Arielle and I had this conversation when I was telling her about it. Like, I think of stuff like this all the time. So sometimes when your brain is thinking to pour into people a certain way, you don't even get that it's special because he was like, this is amazing. And I was like, of course I would do this. Like, why wouldn't I do this? And I think that's kind of why people get so upset. And I kind of have to say women sometimes miss the mark when you're kind of sizing and saying like, he didn't do this elaborate thing. Or I think because we don't make a habit of focusing on love and practicing love in an action form all the time, you think it has to be elaborate and an extravaganza to be real, and that's not necessarily true. And that was my reason of even doing that for him, because I was like, hey, Especially, I told y'all, this week was rough. He got beat up this week a little bit. And I was like, hey, don't you take a load off. I'm a handful. Sit down. Sit down, relax.
Pop a squat. Chill out. For me personally, I feel like women.
Yeah, we got to.
I'm sorry, ladies, but y'all are just super unappreciative. Hey, but let me tell y'all, I definitely understand.
Right.
Because when you're in that space, you can't see it.
No.
When you step out of that space, you look back and go, oh, so I was oh, yeah. Okay. That was me. Yeah. That was me. Like, we literally don't even recognize the things that we do that show such lack of appreciation. Yes. That if it doesn't look the way we want it to look, all the effort that was put into it never happened. It's kind of like when you have like 5 wins and 1 loss, you only recognize the 1 loss. You do not recognize the 5 wins. So when your guy comes to you and he's not a person who puts stuff together, he's not the type of person to go out. Maybe he's like me. He's not good in getting gifts or giving gifts. And the response that you're waiting for him to give you isn't what he was giving you, or what he gave you, you were thinking like, if you even knew me, you would never get something like that. And it's kind of like, well, maybe he's just not really good at doing it, but he tried. And the try in itself isn't enough. Like, nobody looks at it as it's enough, and it's super unappreciative. I am 5,000,000% sure there are men out here who act unappreciative. Yes. Okay. I'm not saying that they don't.
But then for this subject in this arena, this is one of the ones that we kind of tell them they're supposed to sit back and expect to not be treated. Like, we kind of condition.
Sir, hold my beer. This is about me.
Right. Game, almost like a wedding. I think this is what women use as like a mini wedding of sorts. Because my time.
You'll hear women say, like, if there's a man who wants to be involved in a wedding, like, this is my day. He's like, well, who the hell you marrying? Am I not gonna be there? Because I feel like this is our day. I could be wrong.
Exactly.
But I think we paying for this, and I'm gonna be there, and I should have a say in it too. And I think a lot of times that's where the conflict of compromise and the conflict of understanding, the conflict of appreciation, it's just a lot of conflicting matters, because people forget that grace that we talked about when you're dealing with somebody, and the human part. Like, you don't want to treat people human anymore and allow them to have feelings and emotions, and you kind of like look at them like,
So for me, mine has my area has never been Valentine's Day. It was always my birthday. I always that was the one time that I was like, okay, I've been rationalizing. I let Valentine's Day slide, and listen, but nothing.
But you do both though. Like, you're going to go above and beyond for their birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to go above and beyond for them for Valentine's Day. Like, that's just who you are. Yes. You don't expect it to be about you for everything.
No.
But there are people out here who don't feel like they need to give what they're getting. I know
that I see now. And I can only say I see it now.
Absolutely.
Because I only see it now.
Absolutely. Me too.
What we do sometimes is, let's say if you're with someone, you get a boyfriend, and this is like, oh, this is our first Valentine's. This is great. I get to do something. You have already conceptualized that this is a big deal. That even if you say that to him, it doesn't mean the same.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to. And then we get mad at that too. Like, why don't you think this is important? And then he gets you a card and wants to take you out, and you're like, that's it? Wait a minute. And some stuff you may know and some stuff you may not know, but he might have literally sat in that store like, do you know the last person I bought a card? Ma'am, I don't buy cards. Like, I don't do this, and I'm extending, but to you it's just not enough because you're not appreciative as is. You gotta give a little credit. Like, you have to be willing to look at all perspectives, and then what will happen is some women, if they lash out and a man says stuff like, I don't even buy cars, they'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't know. But you didn't have to. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the finger whip. It's crazy that women cope with our pain in a way, a lot of times, that we get into this cycle of trying to avoid things that sometimes we manifest exactly what we're trying to avoid by functioning out of fear.
Correct.
That we're sizing up this man to make sure we're valued. If I'm valued every day, I don't need extra sauce on one day out of the year. Like, if you value me all the time, of course, like, I think you should celebrate things. Celebrate Valentine's Day and anniversaries and all those moments together. But I would think you'd be trying to do that if you're sharing life together.
Correct.
Period.
Now, I will tell you this one story with me and one of my exes, and it was my birthday. And so my birthday, he got us a room at this place called the Sybaris. And I don't know if this is a place that's all over, but Sybaris is like this. It's like the place you go to where it has like a waterfall and a
slanging
pool.
and banging.
Oh, and that is all that's going on in there.
in a conceptual form of a bliss.
Yes, it is. Woo! So he picks me up, and we, he actually blindfolds me, and we go there. And then when we get to the room, because it's a room, y'all, it's a room. And it has its, the bed and the TV and the fireplace, but it also has like a pool and a jacuzzi and like a waterfall over the pool. And so when we get there, we walk into the room, and then he takes the blindfold off of me, and I look in the room, and then I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. But y'all, that was the only thing for my birthday.
Right.
Now, at that time, I couldn't see the effort or the try. Right. All I saw was that sex was my birthday present. Right. Which I had had the day before. So I was trying to figure out how this was going to be some different sex, because we had this same sex yesterday. And then, like, there were no gifts on the bed. It wasn't like a card on the bed. It was nothing but this room. So then I asked him, I was like, so whose birthday is this? Mine or yours? Like, you get to have sex in a pool. We had sex yesterday. Right. This is the same sex. Like, I don't feel like sex is a gift. And I'm pretty sure men don't feel like sex. No. Well, unless they're not getting it from their girlfriend or their wife, then it is. Because there's some men who don't get sex or the other stuff. Let's call it, we're adults, head from their significant other until it is a holiday or Christmas Day, birthday, Valentine's Day. Like, that actually happens. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, thank you. But he could tell on my face that I was not excited about this at all. And then I was like, so are we doing something? Like, I thought he took me to the room and then we were going to like go somewhere. Like, we were going to go to dinner, or there was nothing. Like, he picked me up and took me to the room. And then I think we were just supposed to get to it like for the rest of the night. Right. And I was all like, but we did that yesterday. Right. So just Valentine's Day started yesterday? Like, because this is the exact same thing. Anyway, I do believe now the person I am would have handled it differently. Yes. But the person that I was then, I definitely was like, so you're telling me sex with a pool is my gift for my birthday? Right. And he was like, well, it's us being together in this place. And I was just like, but I don't have anything to show for it, but my hair gonna be wet. Right. Like, I was like, and the same sex we had yesterday. Right. And I think sometimes, because I hear this a lot of women. I was on trash, girl. Then I think back to that. I was like, oh, you unappreciative.
No, yeah, for sure. Because I heard a lot of me. I was like, oh, you was flexing your Tiffany muscles.
When I just said it, I was like, hey.
The face, like, because I wouldn't have been able to have my face like.
I was like, so whose gift is this? Yours or mine?
That part too, because I would have said that before. I wouldn't say that now, but I would have. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun for you. But I think sometimes, and I think women talk themselves, because it's kind of that I'm worth it self thing that and you are, but then that you don't have to have him to be worth it. Like, you can be worth it
correct
all by yourself.
Absolutely.
So when someone comes to the table pouring extra than your own worth it into you,
right,
you gotta be as elaborate as you expect that to look. You gotta be as elaborately appreciative. Like, you can't be like, because you were supposed to. No, ma'am. No. You are getting back what you're putting out. And I've heard stipulations change around, holidays like this. Like, if he was never a person to talk to you on the phone all day, you expect it because it's Valentine's. Or
correct.
If he never has ever cooked you dinner, he should have tried on Valentine's Day. It's like,
why does this have to look different because of the day?
Wait a minute, man.
And why do you get to condemn them because it doesn't look different? Like,
yeah, you gotta do better with that. I think for both of us, we both don't seem to ever have been people like, I know I used to say, my language used to be that I had never had a Valentine. Like, I never had someone. I would say that over a period of time, like, no, I never really had it to know what it was. But then I think the most elaborate Valentine I had was with my boyfriend now a couple years back, and then he did some elaborate balloons in the door, movie setup type of thing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Jumbo card, bear, all the things I was like, that never happened.
I'd have hit the floor because I don't know how to take stuff like that.
Listen,
like, I've had an ex do something for me, and like my response was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I literally say, like, I've never had anybody do anything like this for me, but I do believe, and I've said it before, my response can be taken as very carefree.
Yes.
And like, so did you like it or not?
Right, because you're not giving what
another person would give, or how other females respond to it. If you're gauging things off of what you're accustomed to how a woman would respond, I'm definitely not like that. I'm not a very giddy, very gushy female, but that doesn't mean that I'm not appreciative. My response is just different, but I know it can be taken very disheartening. So I usually give that precursor. Like, I'm like, so let me just tell you something. I'm really terrible at receiving a gift. Like, and it's not that I don't appreciate it. Like, I just don't express myself that way. I can think a couple times that I have like been over the top excited about something, but majority of the time it's not. Like, I got stuff for Valentine's Day, and I'm pretty sure that the person who gave me stuff was like, did you like it or no?
Well, you know what? I think for me, even when that happened, what I was really impressed and appreciative of was that there was a planning, because he had reached out to my friend and paired, like, oh, you okay?
You was doing
you
something.
Trying to do something here. Okay, I see you. And that part even made the look and presentation more. I think sometimes we don't think we're beating men up, but I think we're kind of dropping the ball. Like, you're not more worth it on one day out of a year. Like, and if you haven't felt that worth it and you've been dealing with this person, I think you should assess that, then beat them up about what you think should be happening on one day. I just think sometimes we can carelessly be so unappreciative and then camouflage it in like, why wouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? I'm worth it. And a lot of times that comes from places of unresolved pain, like, or hurt because you felt so unworthy from someone else, and now here this person that spent 15 minutes finding you a card is getting beat up for finding you a card because you think he should have also bought you an outfit and a box of chocolates and laid it out with fondue and rose petals. And then he's like, ma'am, I cussed 5 people out today at work. I stopped. I got hot 15 minutes of reading some cards that I didn't want to do just for you.
So,
and now we arguing about it. Guess what ain't gonna happen?
That 15 minutes at that card next year.
It's mine.
Bet
I'm taking it back.
Bet I won't when
I need it.
I bet I won't when it comes up again.
Don't you worry about it.
It was posed to me that there was my friend told me this story about this chick who her guy told her that he wanted to invest in her business,
mm-hmm.
and she told him that she'd rather have gifts. And I had asked this question on my Facebook page, like, what would you do if you wanted to invest into one of your significant other's business, and they said, nah, spend that money on gifts for me. Mm-hmm. And the responses were different. Like, some people said I would just get her what she wanted. Then another person said maybe they aren't ready to run a business, so they want you to invest in them because that's their love language.
Mm.
And then another person said I'd buy them what they asked for and then break up with them because clearly we don't have nothing to move forward with. Like, that's not a person that I want to build with. I left out the other part. The other part is when the person says, why can't you do both? Yeah. And that was a question. Somebody said on there, they were like, well, why can't you? I didn't respond to it, but the question was, well, why can't you invest into their business and get them what they want? Here's the problem with that. I'm giving you something from me. Mm-hmm. You don't get to dictate how that looks. You be appreciative regardless of what it looks like. And I think women often say that, men say this too, because I've had men say this to me before, because I don't know how to, gift and do all that fun stuff. I've had women and men both say that I shouldn't have to teach you how to treat me. Oh. And I shouldn't have to teach you what to do for me. One. And I'm like, so do you honestly think that is a form of teaching a person how to treat you? Which is interesting, and it's probably why a lot of people don't understand the other person, because that's a form of admiration and respect and appreciation. That's not them. Teaching a person how to treat you is completely different than if somebody is doing something from them to you that has nothing to do with you.
I saw somebody have a post saying, am I crazy or not? But if you spend over 10 years with someone, shouldn't they know what to do with you? Like, why do I have to tell them what?
Why you been with somebody for 10 years that you have to keep telling? That's your fault. Why you still there? If this is that big of a problem for you, why are you still there?
But then I was like, I guess my mind immediately said, and that's what everybody was saying under the post, like, what if he just wants to make sure? And she was like, no, it's been 10 years. That's stupid.
But that's stupid. This is stupid. For 10 years, he's been trying to do something to make sure that you are appreciative, that you enjoy it, that you like it. And maybe that's not his department. I tell y'all all the time, I don't event plan. That's what Tiffany does. At no point am I going to wake up tomorrow and then be like, got it. Because I've been around Tiffany for 4 years, so now I'm an event planner. That's not what the hell happens. Are y'all crazy?
Right.
Like, seriously, I'm definitely, if my husband is a mechanic, I don't know how to fix cars.
Nope.
Now, me and him can have a conversation and I'll be able to follow it compared to when I wasn't.
Right.
But I'm not about to get up under there and with a monkey wrench or a screwdriver and fix nothing. So for you to say, why do I have to tell him? First of all, be appreciative that he cares that much to make sure that what you get is something that you want. And two, if it's that big of a deal for you, if it's such a big deal that it needs to be a conversation of unappreciation, why are you with that person? Because I feel like anything you're going to complain about, why you with them then?
Right.
Because the other stuff that they have going on.
Well, I feel like if you're going to pour into that relationship, because there's a lot of stuff I'm sure you do that you don't want to do if you've been doing it for 10 years. Why you want to take off a day of pouring into like that's what I was confused
You was like, 14th, check it out. I can't wait. I wish the 14th fell on a weekend so I could just take off the whole damn weekend. I gotta take off just Thursday. Bet Thursday, I'm out. Like, I'm putting in my notice today. Y'all play too much.
Listen, I think my main takeaway about this topic is that you gotta move in love like action, not by love.
Because love is an act. I heard somebody say that it's not an action. It's definitely
an action. And one prime example for anybody who's listening to this, that they were on the receiving end of getting beat up, or they were on the end of not feeling value enough. When you're spending time with someone, time is one of the best gifts that I think all of us have. Like, time is so valuable because things happen instantaneous, in an instant manner, that things can change so quickly. And I think there's nothing more special than someone wanting to spend time with you, that feels you're valuable enough to give their time. And however that comes, if that's a conversation, if that's, planning something out, all of that time is super valuable. When I first began talking to my boyfriend, I was giddy. Like, I was super happy if I knew he called me on my break, because
that dating stage is awesome.
Because it was like, oh, he wants to talk to me on his break. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart on the inside, sometimes I would say, it was like, thank you, because I know you called me. Are you sure you want to talk to me? I'm even asking,
Mm-hmm.
You sure? And it's we have to be mindful of how quickly we give that up and decide that now gets to become a demand. It was a gift to me. It was extended to me. It was time given. And then I was like, oh, you that's how you give?
Because we lose the appreciation of it.
Yeah, you can't though. And you can't decide you elevate by statuses and title into a position that you don't need to appreciate someone you love, because that matters, because you need that. I need that back too. I need to be valued and appreciated back too. So I think,
and you don't recognize it until they turn off their appreciation. Then you like, wait a minute. When you're doing something, you don't recognize it. When the other person starts treating you the way you were treating them,
did you see?
Wait a minute.
When Beyonce performed "Ring the Alarm" at the MTV Awards, that's what happens inside. Like, it's the red lights, trench coats, and it's just like, what? What?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think it's just important in everything we do, because love looks some way to so many of us in our head that we kind of miss when we have it in what the form that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start making it different when it's someone you're dating or a mate or whatever. And that's kind of even why with you all, I wanted to do that. If you're just valuing love in all its form,
mm-hmm.
you're not going to be disappointed, because it will be clear to see. You're not going to be so hung up on those, because we're human and everybody's not going to do what you want the way you want them to do it. But learning to appreciate effort in every form, even if it falls short from you, because if you're feeling unworthy because you didn't get rose petals on your bed, then that's something you got to work on inside. That's not going to be fixed on Valentine's Day.
Or the day after, for that matter.
What do you say?
I feel like my takeaways are, this is the day when people find out how unappreciative or selfish their significant other is, or how in tune y'all are with each other.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna surface or domestics, because you might find out about a side chick. You might find out that you are the side chick. I just feel like this day just, moves a curtain or a veil off of people's eyes. And I think that, if you pay attention to it, it'll show you a lot about yourself.
Yes.
If you're the type of person who has no problem questioning yourself. Right. Some people don't want to look at themselves. They only want to look at the other person. Mm-hmm. So if you're moving to question other people, then you'll be fine. If you're not, This is just going to be another day that just skates over your head and you trying to figure out why he is or is not doing what it is that you want him to do, or why she is or is not doing what you want her to do, like being appreciative, be understanding, being, open, blah, 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 whatever your thing is. I just feel like people on this day put way too much emphasis on and pressure on the other person, and it should just be about love. My day was love extended. Tiffany sent me love. All my friends sent me love, males and females. I received so many gifts from people who I'm not in relationships with, people who genuinely care about me and pay attention to me. People know I do spa days. I got all types of spa stuff. I got spa stuff. I got text messages with heartfelt messages. I got phone calls. I got, people saying all types of amazing, loving things to me. That's what that day is to me. I didn't have a significant other to pour into me, and I probably got poured into more than people who do have a significant other. So I just wish this day was, the love aspect of it was amplified, because sometimes people don't say I love you, but how they treat you and how they display their love, you don't have to hear it. Like I've said before, like if I just know that you love me but you don't say it, I can function. But if I can't see it and you don't say it, then I have to question it. But when your friends and your family and your significant other pour into you love, that's what the whole day is about. And I think people miss that. It's misses all of that these days, including Sweetest Day, because that's made up. So that's my gem.
So we have an important announcement.
Y'all could just hear her smiling, can't you? She's so giddy. I'm so, yeah.
All my teeth are out.
Every one of them. Y'all, she's so funny.
So we kicked off the new year and we told you that there were some things you could look forward to, and we were going to be working to improve and do things, and the time has come.
Absolutely. So
we are taping our season finale next week. Don't cry, y'all.
It's just the season.
It's just the season. We're just taking some time off, and we'll be back and better, okay? But we are going to record it live, y'all.
Yay! This is what I be sounding like. This is what I talk about. Yay! So excited.
Yeah, live and in living color. Y'all gonna see us slanging and banging in live in person, being open and candid in front of people. That's gonna be interesting.
What I can't wait is for people to see the faces that I keep saying that you. Now we're not. So this is gonna be recorded live audio.
Live audio.
This isn't going to be visually recorded, although stay tuned. But this will be a live audio recording. Next Saturday.
Yep, Saturday, February 23rd.
From 1 to 4 p.m. We are going to be at the Homewood Public Library, which is in Homewood, Illinois, which is about 20 to 30 minutes from Chicago. It could be even less than that. It might just be like 20 minutes. Depending on how you drive. It's about 20 for me. And we will be talking about all types of things, y'all. You see how our conversations go all over. So I'm assuming with more people in the room, the conversations is going to be all over the place. So I'm definitely going to have to get my edit game up, I'm sure.
Right. That's my point. I'm like, oh man, I just hope that I don't fall back into the syndrome of saying because I got to look at people.
Yeah.
Like,
I just thought about that.
Let me close my eyes. I want to see.
I don't want to fall back into it.
Don't look at me. But I'm so excited. I think this is a great opportunity. So if you live in Chicago or surrounding areas,
or the south suburbs or the north suburbs for that matter,
come
on out and see us. It's gonna be a whole thing. We got a whole vibe. Now we done told you that Tiffany is an event planner, so just expect for it to be cute.
Yeah, And expect to work with us. Like, this is trial and error. We on a journey. We vibing. We gonna get bigger and better along the way. So I'm just excited to see some of the people that I know have said they are paying attention to see this happen in person, because
Hey, yo, one of my friends, he called me and was like, so I just want you to know that I feel like me, you, and Tiffany are friends. He was like, and I really wish there was a male podcast like y'all podcast. And I'm like, well, I've listened to a lot of podcasts and we bring a completely different atmosphere than a lot of other podcasts. He was like I literally listen to y'all and be like, this is dope. And I'm sure I'm in my car laughing and people looking at me and they like, he listening to girls podcast. Right. He's like, you don't even know they dope. Like, they got bars and more women need to listen to their podcast. I'm like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So
come on out.
Come on out. Bring somebody with you.
So if you're following our IG, which is Grab Your Cup, we have link on there for you to get tickets. Tickets are on Eventbrite. We have an Eventbrite page.
If you're on Facebook, you can go to Grab Your Cup. The Eventbrite is on there also. Mm-hmm. And you can also go to either me or Tiffany's page if you guys know us personally, and you can go to the event on there. So yeah, enjoy yourself. Let us know you're coming, and we look forward to seeing you. I just want to see what that's going to be like, because if you have people who know you but don't know you, they're going to be like, wait, you never told me that. Have you been listening? There's a lot of things I haven't told nobody. Pay attention. There will be more.
Right. So come on out and grab your cup in person.
This is going to be fun.
It is.
I'm excited. Either way, we will be back for our next season. Yes. And when we come back, we're going to have, I'm sure, even more amazing topics to talk about. And yeah, it's been fun. I had fun with you guys. I hope your Valentine's Day was awesome.
Have fun too.
We will see you guys on Saturday, February 23rd at 1:00.
Bye.
Bye.